don't be put off by the accent. Don't worry, I'm not here to start a trade war. That's not my thing. This accent used to be decent, I think. I don't know. I don't remember the history. I think it's gotten worse because, it's been like, I think like following the Second World War, there was a good 30 years where America was seen as the good guys if you weren't Asian, It never really left there following World War II. But I come from a crazy place. I come from one of the original 13 colonies. Baltimore is a place where some weird things happen. America is so capitalist. We go so hard on capitalism that we turned firefighting into a competition. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Dutch, they do capitalism good. They've done capitalism for a long time here, yes. But even the Dutch recognized back in the 1400s that if your house burns down or if your neighbor's house burns down, your house is also in danger somehow. Because, the boring part is, yes, it's a lot of wooden structures next to each other, but literally every Dutch citizen was in the fire department for a long period of time because it was recognized as a public good. Whereas in America, in the large cities in the early 1800s, when we started getting enough people that urban density started to get where you could handle such situations, we turned firefighting into a literal competition between corporate interests where there would be fistfights over who got to put out the fire. Meanwhile, the fire is raging in the background. It literally took them 50, 60 years to solve this problem. It took until about 1860 or so to nationalize fire departments. So, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing that, that's how hard that America goes on capitalism, But I am here now. And it's a weird thing to be here and to be watching what's happening across the country, across the pond after being 30 plus years of growing up there and then now seeing what's happening because it's like, initially, yes, we never left, a lot of interest alone, but now America's even pissing white countries off. It's pretty impressive. I gotta say, it's because somehow, the weird thing about authoritarians is they never seem to understand how international law works. The people that are saying just follow the law, just comply, or the police will execute you in the street, are the same people saying that, what's this treaty we signed 100 years ago with Denmark saying that they own Greenland? I don't get what that's about. They got rare earth minerals underneath there. We can't accept that, Clearly a national security interest that we've got over there. But it's whatever they can do to distract from the fact that Elon was not cool enough to get invited to Epstein Island, Somehow on Christmas Day with 13 kids, he finds the time to email Jeffrey Epstein about the wildest parties of the coming year. I think it's a funny thing how we live in this world that's just kind of like we have all these weird influences that are literally it's out in the open now. We got 3 million pages of the Epstein files that are out of 6. But like. I don't know, I feel like we're getting fed fake options, you know what I mean? So I was on YouTube the other day. I found that was not meant to be a punchline, but that's it's where I go to get my education, apparently. Not the best idea, apparently. We're gonna see where this goes. Right, so I was on there and I was trying to educate myself on dumb stuff, and one of the things that came across my feed was the philosophy of Machiavelli and how it was supposedly forbidden to be read by the public, but allegedly secretly circulated amongst European monarchs during the time that it was written because it was a thesis in raw naked power and how to exercise it. Yeah, oddly enough, that was the video was talking about this and talking about it got into themes of manipulation and advertising and how those kind of try and get into your head to the point that it's like it feels like you're making a choice but you're not making a choice. So one thing that really struck me halfway through this video that I had to write down. I don't mean to look too far away from things that I have memorized, but I feel like if I didn't memorize this quote, it wouldn't come out exactly the right way. Or if I tried to memorize this quote, it wouldn't come out the right way. So I wrote it down, and hopefully we got the right microphone volume here, because start on this page, there we go. There's a psychologist, it's a real person, Ellen Langer. She was a Harvard psychologist in the 1930s, the 70s, or 80s or so, and she said if you give, she was summarizing the philosophy of Machiavelli in this quote that was given in the video. That is, if you give people a menu of pre-approved options, if you let them feel the satisfaction of selection, that they will defend their choice as a personal conviction, never questioning who designed the menu. And this quote really hit me as kind of salient, and I was like, yeah, that does describe a lot of our modern experience. And it was at that point that I noticed there was something odd about the cadence in the voice. And it was this familiar British accent. I could have sworn I heard it before, and yes, sure enough, several months ago when I was getting into medieval history videos to help you fall asleep, I realized I was listening to AI slop that was just generated to make income on YouTube, as you might imagine. So guess where this video was coming from, sure enough. A philosophy page on YouTube that feeds you slop. And come to think of it, I went and looked that quote up. She never said that shit.